Krishna's first sandals. One bright morning in Gokul, Yashoda Maiya was lovingly preparing her little Kanha to go outside and play. She gently called him and said, "Kanha, come here, my child. Today I have something special for you." Little Kanha came running with curiosity in his sparkling eyes. "What is it, Ma?" he asked. Yashoda smiled warmly and placed a small pair of beautiful sandals in front of him. "Kanha," she said softly, "today you must wear these sandals when you go outside." Kanha looked at the sandals carefully and then looked up at his mother with innocent confusion. "Ma," he asked, "why do I need sandals?" Yashoda gently held his tiny feet in her hands and replied lovingly, "Kanha, your feet are so soft and delicate. When you go to the jungle with the cows and play with your friends, there may be sharp stones or thorns on the ground. I am afraid they might hurt your little feet." Hearing this, Kanha became very thoughtful. Without saying another word, he suddenly ran outside toward the cowshed. Yashoda watched him with surprise. Inside the cowshed, Kanha stood in front of the cows and began counting them carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, he said, pointing at each cow. Yashoda Maiya followed him and asked curiously, "Kanha, what are you doing here, my little one?" Kanha looked up seriously and replied, "Ma, I am counting the cows." Yashoda smiled and asked, "But why are you counting them?" Kanha explained very sincerely, "Ma, you said the ground has stones and thorns that can hurt feet. I only have 2 feet, but the cows have 4 feet." He pointed at the cows and continued, "So, you will need to buy many more sandals for them." Yashoda could not help smiling at Kanha's innocent concern. "Kanha," she said gently, "the cows do not need sandals." Kanha looked puzzled. "Why not?" he asked. Yashoda explained patiently. "The cows have strong hooves on their feet. Their hooves protect them from stones and thorns." Kanha thought for a moment and then looked at his mother with great seriousness. "Ma," he said thoughtfully, "then why don't I have hooves?" He looked down at his little feet and continued, "I think you did not give me the proper food. Otherwise, I would also have grown hooves like the cows." Yashoda laughed softly at his innocent reasoning. "Oh, Kanha," she said lovingly, "hooves are only for cows. People like us have soft feet instead." But Kanha shook his head firmly. "Ma," he said, "I will wear sandals only if you also bring sandals for all the cows." Yashoda looked at her little son with deep affection. In that moment she saw not only his innocence, but also his loving heart. Little Kanha cared so much for the cows that he could not bear the thought that they might suffer while he stayed comfortable. Yashoda gently hugged her child and smiled. Such was the tender compassion of little Kanha in Gokul, always thinking of the cows and loving them as his dear friends. These sweet childhood pastimes of Kanha reveal not only his playful nature, but also his deep love for every living being. Thank you for listening. May Krishna's Leelas bring peace and happiness. Another gentle story of Krishna is waiting. Hare Krishna.